Manga-Waido.
My name is Yuichi Mikami, 27 years old. I'm a company employee, and I'm considered a young guy in the company. I work for a new cosmetics company that has recently been growing rapidly. I'm in the online department, and usually I'm in charge of inventory control, packing, picking, etc. One day, a 68-year-old male employee came into our site as a senior quota employee.
My name is Kozo Date. I'm not good with computers, but I'm still dexterous with my hands. I will do my best to be an asset.
Good thing he seems like a sincere person. Since he was hired to be in charge of light work, I, the leader of that department, was to teach him the job. To my surprise, Kozo-san was so quick to take in the work that it was hard to believe that he was elderly. Kozo-san, is this really your first time doing this kind of work? You're very deft.
No. It's thanks to your way of teaching. It's very easy to understand. Thank you.
If someone says something like this, it makes me feel good about doing my job. Not only this, Kozo-san is a very caring person, and it didn't take long for me or the other employees to get to know him. Then, one day, during lunch break, Kozo-san had brought a homemade lunchbox which was incredibly gorgeous. That's amazing! Is it your wife's home-cooked food?
Actually, I was a cook until 3 years ago.
I see. You're indeed a professional. He gave the restaurant to his son 3 years ago and was living a comfortable life for a while. But he lost his wife last year and felt lonely, so he started working. Immediately after hearing this story, my colleague Miyato-san began to weep. Oh, are you okay?
I'm sorry.
She lost her beloved grandmother last year, and she couldn't help but burst into tears because Kozo-san's grandfather living alone far away reminded her of her grandmother.
You must have a very kind heart to shed so many tears over someone.
It must have been hard to lose your wife.
Thanks. But thanks to the fact that I started working, I was able to meet young people with a beautiful heart like this, so my life is really fulfilling.
This one incident made us love Kozo-san all the more. But it was different for our chief Okawa. He was listening at a distance and came in at an odd timing. It's a good thing you're retired, chef. They say you lose the taste for cooking when you get old. This guy. I was angry, but Kozo-san didn't seem to mind.
That may be true.
Well, I don't know if you'll be of any use to my company, but...
I'm just grateful that you hired me at my age.
Okawa clicked his tongue and walked away, perhaps not amused by Kozo-san's reaction. I was relieved that it didn't turn out to be a big deal for the time being, but... The next day, Okawa started picking on Kozo-san. Hey, you! Type this into Excel.
Excel? Excuse me, what is Excel?
Huh? You don't even know what Excel is? But Kozo-san is here for light work. Is it natural that he can't do office work? What? Are you trying to talk back to the chief?
I'm sorry for my ignorance. I'll study up.
In fact, Okawa is the nephew of the company's president, and his favorite saying is, anyone who opposes me will be fired. And he is so adored by the president that several employees have left the company because of conflicts with him. Besides, Okawa had a temper tantrum, so it was really difficult to work with him. According to rumors, Okawa got into gambling debts before he got married, and his wife has been managing the family finances since their marriage, receiving only a small allowance. Because of this stress, it was said he might be releasing this by bullying his employees. On a different day... Hey! You're not done typing that up yet?
I haven't been taught how to operate it, so it might take a little longer.
Huh? You'll have to do something about that yourself. Are your brains rotten? Chief, that's a bit much. Mikami, you shut up!
I'm sorry. I'll try to remember as I go, so please give me some time.
Useless. Okawa has always been like this for the past few days.
I finished my work. Shall I help you?
Oh, Miyata-san. Thank you.
Now we can finish faster if we do it together.
You! Stop doing unnecessary things!
I'm sorry.
It was Miyata-san whom Okawa had recently been making more of an enemy of than Kozo-san. She and Kozo-san got along well soon after joining the company, as if they were kindred spirits. Okawa was probably not amused by her adoration of a contract employee who had suddenly joined the company. He also made it frequently difficult for her to do the things she did. One day at lunchtime, we were spreading out our lunches as usual. "Kozo-san, yours looks as good as ever."
It's like a hobby. By the way, has Chief Okawa always been like that?
What?
No, it's just that I get the feeling that everyone is doing their job with fear.
It can't be helped. No one wants to get fired. I don't want to get fired now either, so I can't go against him.
It was 3 months after we were talking about that. Miyata-san stopped coming to the office out of the blue. I became concerned and visited her at her home. When I asked her the reason,
Just thinking about Chief Okawa makes me nauseous.
and she seemed to have developed a mental disorder. In the end, Miyata-san left the company a few months later. Kozo-san, who adored her, was also greatly shocked, and finally protested to Okawa one day.
I heard that there have been cases of employees quitting because of you, Chief Okawa. Huh? A man in your position as chief ruining employees' lives. Don't you think anything of it?
That's just because they're weak. Don't blame me.
What? That's wrong!
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we received a complaint from a customer. The complaint was that the perfume they purchased from us smelled funny. We have received many similar complaints over the years, and Okawa would send them a new one, saying it was an old product that must have deteriorated. According to what senior employees told me, Okawa would sometimes instruct the returned items to be sent directly to another customer. And when Okawa got to report the complaint from me,
Is it because of the way you're managing the merchandise? What?
he tried to put the blame on Kozo-san. Kozo-san has only been exposed to the products for the first few days of his employment. Moreover, the only products that received complaints were those that Okawa was in charge of inspecting. It was utterly absurd.
Complaints have increased since you joined, that's for sure. I don't want a useless old man. That's enough. You're fired.
Chief, that's not right. First of all, Kozo-san is only assigned to work on the computer and doesn't even touch the products. If anyone is responsible, it's me. Then I can fire you instead. Or should I fire you together? I can't get anywhere talking to this guy. As I was left speechless, Kozo-san placed his hand on my shoulder.
Yuichi, thanks. That's enough. Chief Okawa, I don't mind if you fire me. In exchange, Yuichi should not be blamed.
That's fine. I don't need you anymore then. Let's have you get your stuff and leave.
Alright. Thank you for your help.
And just like that, Kozo-san's contract was actually terminated. It was only a short period of time that we worked together, but he taught me a lot of things. I respected Kozo-san from the bottom of my heart. For that reason, I couldn't help but feel inadequate for not being able to do anything about it. I was left feeling kind of pathetic and gloomy as 2 months passed. One day, I was suddenly called into the president's office. Am I actually getting fired too? I braced myself and went to the president's office. Excuse me, what? Kozo-san! And Chief!
Well, have a seat.
Sitting down on a soft sofa, the president explained the situation to me. According to the story, Kozo-san is demanding that Okawa confirm the facts of his past behavior and apologize, saying that if he doesn't accept the request, he will tell a reporter friend of his about the company's real situation. Okawa's behavior includes a series of complaints resulting from the different contents of the product which he is responsible for, and the fact that moral harassment is taking place within the company. What was even more surprising was Kozo-san's claim that Okawa switched the contents, diluted the product, increased the number of units, and sold the resulting product privately to make money. If it turns out to be true, it's a big deal. Okawa seems to deny everything, and I was called in to confirm the facts. Everyone has noticed that the only products that receive complaints are those that Okawa was in charge of inspecting. But Okawa is probably taking it lightly, thinking I won't say anything extra for fear of getting fired.
Tell him already, to this mistaken old geezer.
So? It's true.
Huh?
I didn't know about the private sales, but everything else he said is true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, although I was aware of it. You want to get fired for talking nonsense without any proof?
I have proof. Otherwise, I would be talking to the press.
Kozo-san said that he had been observing Okawa, who was rough with the employees, on a regular basis and had seen him sneaking around after work on many occasions. He has also seen Okawa sneaking merchandise into the office. Kozo-san then ordered the perfume to be delivered to his son and his wife's house. He also bought the same product at an authorized store and asked a laboratory to analyze the ingredients to determine the difference. Then, it turned out the perfume that arrived from the warehouse was watered down, so they returned the product and investigated the one that was sent again. This product did have a higher concentration, but was still found to be different from the authentic product.
Huh! That doesn't prove that I did it! Stop talking nonsense! That's not all. Huh? My son taught me how to use a flea market site, and I bought the same kind of perfume shipped from the same prefecture. We had it fingerprinted and found that it matched Chief Okawa's fingerprints. What? Acting like a detective!
In short, Okawa was stealing the company's products, diluting and increasing them to line his own pockets in order to make a few coins. If the public finds out about this, the company's reputation will fall to the ground.
What have you done? I'm sorry. Please, I'll fire Okawa. Just don't leak this to the public. Please. President! Firing? Shut up! You shut your mouth! Fine. In exchange, I have some conditions.
Kozo-san's demands are an apology to the customers he has been cheating, shipping out legitimate products, and...
Please reinstate Masumi Miyata. If she wants to, of course. She was basically forced to quit by Chief Okawa. I understand. President! I will not allow you to make an apology at this point in time! Ah!
Okawa was insistent until the end, but was eventually fired. Miyata-san returned to the company a short time later, and within 2 months, she was able to work as usual. I'm glad. It's all thanks to Kozo-san. But the relief was short-lived. One day, while searching for the company's reputation on social media, I found the buyer of the perfume complaining about our company. What if... I secretly checked with the customer, and to my surprise, I found out that the genuine product had not been sent back. When I asked the president about it...
Yeah, the customer's data was lost.
That's not possible. As far as I could tell, it was still there.
We sent it to half of our customers, so it doesn't matter. We're done talking about this. Now go back and do your job.
This is unacceptable. I then talked to some like-minded people in the company and started working on internal reforms. But about a month later, I addressed the president directly. This is... A short time later, an article on our company's recent series of wrongful business practices in a certain weekly magazine. The president immediately held a press conference and was forced to apologize and explain. Okawa's name was mentioned too, and he was subsequently arrested for fraud and theft. Now that his name came out in the news, it'll be difficult for him to get a new job. On the day that the president's resignation was decided, I was going to have dinner with Kozo-san and Miyata-san.
Miyata-san, I'm so glad you were able to get your job back.
It's thanks to Kozo-san. Thank you very much.
Kozo-san? Was it you who spread the article after all?
What are you talking about?
Oh no. It's all thanks to you, Kozo-san. Please, let me thank you too.
But the president was also arrested for fraud and his reputation is in tatters. What's going to happen now?
I'm sorry I've caused such a stir in the company.
That's not true. Our company will be better. We'll make it better.
That's right. Now all we can do is pray that our new president is a good man.
But her fears were unfounded. The new president will be a person brought in externally by the chairman. The new president is a man of integrity, and the scandal was explained both internally and externally without concealment, and a new management policy that puts trust first was announced immediately. Within a year or so, the bad publicity disappeared, and sales which had been declining quickly recovered. Witnessing the straightforwardness of Kozo-san and the new president, I was truly ashamed of myself until now. From now on, I vowed to be a person who can clearly say when something is wrong,